Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training out here at the park with Bruno. I don't know how long this is going to last. I've been having battery problems with my phone the last week or so, so we're going to find out. Good boy, Bruno, good. All right, so we don't know what's going on with Bruno. He might even get sent back to his country and go back to the breeder, because with this type of breeder, with this type of quality in the dog, there's a lot of things that go on. And one of the things, he was sold to go to a pet home and not to be bred, not to get around the sport crowd. So when I've been out there trying to get my sport crowd interested in him and all that, right away I'm sensing something going on. And it's because this stuff goes all over the place. They know each other. This guy's been breeding for a lot of years. Yep. And he's very well known. So we got to respect that real agreement that the original buddy of mine that has the client, that's what he came over for. I'm just an independent contractor. I'm getting paid to work the dog. Nope. OPA. Foos, damn it, here we go again. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Foos, good boy, good, good. Good boy, good. Foos, good. Bruno, Platz. Good, there you go, good. So I'm going to bring out the ball, and I should have brought out his Corrigan fur saver that I was going to do it and trigger it. I'll start it this weekend, but nope, Platz, Platz, good. Foos. Good, good. That's my boy, good. But what I want to work on more than anything else is I've been talking about increasing drive. So we're going to do that this weekend when I get some help with somebody dragging that ball off of that cone. But until then, I'm going to keep this game going. Bruno, Platz. Get it. And then make sure we have a lot of positive. Now, anybody that wants to research it, if he's going back to the breeder, that means that they've got their own ways of doing things. But I've already done a lot of work towards the ball, reward placements. And there's about 5 or 6 of these reward placements. He knows them all now. So they can use all this if they want to watch my videos. Out. Whoever gets him, the same thing. So with reward placement, what it is, ball's underneath the armpit, which is very common. And then I've got a little cue. I'll show you the cues. Bruno, good. Look, that's my cue there. And again, in a competition situation, you're not going to be able to cue anything. Bruno, yes. Okay, ball drop. Let me show you where these different ones are at. And then you can start to understand what reward placement's all about if you haven't already done that research. All right, out. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. Good boy, Bruno. Come on, let's go. Oh, good boy. That's our boy. That's good. That's good. All right, so we don't have a real clean out, so we're going to, Bruno, out. Yes. Good. Keep our programming going. Good. Bruno, out. Seats. Platz. Capping. Nope. He's got all this installed. Gives you your baseboard to work with to go from there, right? He's got all his reward placements that have been done. Foos. He's got that one where he's basically behind me. Let's try that again so you see it. Good. Nope. Good. Bleib. And he has a very, very keen willingness to be exact. So if you start asking him to do exact, he'll give it to you, but you got to be consistent with it. Go ahead and get rid of this. Bruno, Platz. Good. Bleiben. Good. Voice tone and all that's kind of, but they're going to have to reprogram it anyway, but you've got this to work with. If they know what they're doing, and they obviously do, being that they've been to the World WUSV and all that good stuff with several dogs over the years. Seats. Foos. Nope. Good. There you go. Good. Good. Bruno. Good. So reward placement. Let's go through that. I've got 4 or 5 different places. One underneath the arm belt that gets this head posture, right? The other one is what's called behind the alley. The ball's here next to my right-hand side, and then I ask the dog to go over. Good. I got him where I want him. Bruno. Yes, I bend my back. That's the cue to get him to go to the other side. That's called behind the alley. The idea behind that is it's going to be able to be used for his foraging, right? Out. So if he's too far forward, he's foraging. Out. You're creating another behavior in regards to where that ball is going to be delivered. And that's what all these reward placements are all about, is ball delivery, right? So this one's here. Bruno, yes, okay. They call that behind the alley. Good. And again, it's designed to keep the dog staying back because he's anticipating this reward coming from behind your back. Out. Out. Good. Good. Foos. Good. Good. Good boy. Good. And then obviously the ball drop when he's on the move. Yes. Good boy. Good. What's that? What is that, huh? Out. Yes. Good boy. Good. That's my boy. Good. There you go. Good boy. Good. There you go. Good boy. Good. Bruno. Out. Sits. Platz. Get it over his head, okay? So ask for the Platz. He downs, and he's anticipating the one going over his head behind him, so he's not forging forward and going to end up breaking, right? Everything has got a method to the madness for what we're doing here. We call this reward placement, where this ball ends up. Out. Good. Good. All right, yeah. Hey, oh, yeah. Or foos, actually, damn it. Keep doing that. I use a lot of French with all my other dogs. Bleib. All right, so then we've got this one, obviously. You throw the ball between your legs. Then we can ask him to sit, and then I'll show you this one now. Bruno, here. And I did that on purpose. I didn't flow backwards and didn't give him the body language that I would have to phase out anyway. Good. I was testing, probing. Good. So he knows this reward placement, which is between the legs. He's looking up here. Good, good. He's got all this built in. He's not gonna stop looking at you. Good. Bruno, yes. Good boy. There's your reward placement between the legs. Okay? And you just basically reach him out, boom, get him going between the legs. And that's good too, because now you've got him used to going between the legs, and I can do my return. So we can do our call. Out. Bruno, Platz. Bleiben. And our recall would be between my legs, so we'll show you that one now too. Bleib. See what I got on camera here. Yeah, he's out of camera view, isn't he? Okay. All right, so I'm going to take him a little bit back farther and then use that as my line. All right. With me. Go, with me. Good boy, good. There you go. Why did I say with me? Because I don't need the dog exacting his Bleib in his behavior that's associated with the foos, which is to be right at my side with that focused heel posture, right? Good. Now I'm going to recall him, and this time I'm going to throw it between my legs. Bruno. Good. Bruno. Platz. Good. Here. Good. I was happy about that. He right away popped down. So I've got that triggers in. You hear my voice tone. Bruno Platz. Okay. But your guys aren't supposed to say the name, I don't think, on your stuff, but it's easy. Easy to transfer all this stuff that I've done and put the work in into the way you work. You just got to get the dog out there and then realize what I've done and then key into it a little bit and then transfer it to what you want it to be. Good. Good. Bruno, out. Yes. Oh, yeah. Good boy. Good. There you go. Good boy. Good. Out. Good. Good. And I don't have a finished heel, so we're going to see no foos. Back with one leg, back up. Right to my side. Good. Foos. Good. Good. That's my boy. Good. Bleib. I'm trying to get him lined up for the camera. Good. And the other one I started, I'm going to keep doing, is with the cone on the ball. So I mean so I'm going to put this in the flat because I'm going to do a little bit of that. Yep. Good. Good. All right. Let him see it. And the other one I didn't show you was over my head. So this one is designed for when he's got time level involved. He's looking up at you and he's going to anticipate it going up and over my head to my left. And there's actually a cue for that, B-A-L-L, and I'll say it right when I throw it. But after a while, the dog gets so used to it, you can say B-A-L-L, and he'll take off to the left because he knows that's what he's going to be doing. Foos. Good, good. Bruno. Ball. Okay? So right away, ball over my head. And that's going to keep the dog's head standing up because he's anticipating that the ball is going to be over his head and he's going to see it. You know what I mean? So that's what you're getting him used to. Good. Bruno, out. Good. Foos. Good. That's my boy. Good. Bleiben. Good. Bleiben. Good. Now, he's used to this without the extra drive state that we're going to put into him. When we start yanking that off of there, he's going to go crazy on trying to chase it because he's going to anticipate that it's going to go somewhere. Get a second person to yank that off of there and do a lot of running around the field and watch what happens with his drive state. And then you take that drive and you put it in. Foos. So what I'm doing here is I'm breaking the good boy, good, the obedience and getting him to be subservient. Nope, here, good boy, good. Yes, good boy, to the obedience, and then I send him in. And when you start having that extra drive that you're putting in by having somebody yank it off the cone, you're going to see what happens, and then you got to work on getting him to stay attention to you because he's anticipating going into the ball. And that gives you what you need to get some aversive, a little bit pops, make him subservient to the obedience, and then send him in. And once he understands that, he's going to start getting good at paying attention to you all the time versus the outside environment. Out. So the reason I'm doing this right now is to start teaching him to do this. And when he starts coming up in drive because he's anticipating what's going to happen, what happens is that the dog will give you the behavior in anticipation. Nope, good boy, good. Yes, good boy, have the ball. Now keep in mind, we're doing all this with just static, meaning the ball is just sitting there. He has not experienced it getting yanked off of there and going into drive. Once you've got that drive to work with, you're going to go into the obedience, into the ball, and keep him in that, and that's going to bring up the whole intensity in the obedience, right? Because you're going to have a lot more different drive state that's crescendoed because he's anticipating that. I see. Good. Platz. Seats. Good. Platz. Bleiben. Nope. Good. Good. See, I'm trying to bait him with some body language that makes him want to break. Good. Bruno. Seats. Yes, he's only supposed to do it when he's told, not when he's reading body language. Out. Bruno. Platz. Get it. All right, so just a little bit of a primer on reward placement and why we do it. Each one of those placements for the ball has a purpose. And if you just think it through, if you're an experienced dog person, it's not hard. The ball being here on my right-hand side, going up and over my head out that way is going to keep the dog's head up because he's anticipating that he'll see it coming over his head and he gets to go chase it, right? Out. And each one of these ball sets, Foos, has a purpose. Underneath the armpit, look where the dog's head's at. And again, I don't have to tell this to anybody that knows what they're doing. Yes, they're going to be able to go flow into this real quick. Bruno. Yeah, good boy, good. Out. Yes, good boy, good. Yeah, Bubba's. Good. All right, we're going to do this again. A little bit farther out. Good. Bruno. Good. Platz. Nope. Platz. Good. Didn't do it as well as fast because he wasn't in a sit. Good. Bruno. Foos. Platz. Get it. Okay, so we just got to start tying it in some other things. We're going to do a little bit more work with him, figuring out what's going on with him, but reality and truth, when it came down to it, I tried my best to get him placed here in the States, but it looks like we might have to ship him back to the breeder based on previous agreements. He was supposed to be sold to a civilian home with no breeding, and that's because the breeder doesn't want his bloodlines all over the place, and you got to respect that. Out. These dogs are very high dollar dogs and very high quality, and there's a reputation. There's a lot of reputation involved with it, right? Here. Good. So we got to respect that. Good. Bruno? Yes. Good boy. And I wanted my best. I wanted this, but nobody they knew what was going on. Word must have went out real quick when I started talking about it, because nobody wanted to reply to me even. Next time, guys, if you're watching and you're in the Schützen crowd that I reached out to, give me a common respect of just giving me a polite reply. You don't have to say anything except you're not interested, whatever, but don't stone cold. You know what I mean? That's rude. Totally rude. But hey, it is what it is. It's the dog world. You got to love it. Foos. Good. Yes, good boy, good. That's my boy, good. And all I'm doing now is just kind of reaffirming his locations and where this ball's at, so we can keep building on that, right? Bruno out. Foos. Good, good. All right, let's do this one. Good. Bleib. Sitz. Bleib. Good, good. Bruno. Boos. Yes, good boy, good. There you go. Good boy, Bruno. Good. So coming from a static stay or a down into the position, right? Out. Good. Bleib. Good. Nope. Now I'm tapping underneath my arm knowing that that's probably going to cause the dog to break because he's seeing the motor movement with me going up underneath my arm. Bleib. No. Sitz. Sitz. Good. Good. He's on the flat collar. He's not on the pinch. Good. But we're going to do it a couple more times. Remember, patterns of 2s and 3s with everything we do. Bruno. Foos. Nope. Yes. Good boy. Good. There you go. So all you have to do is ask for exact and start marking those exact locations and be consistent with it. He's on his way. Out. Guts. Remember, I don't compete in sports, so I'm not to the point where I'm good at making sure I put in all the hard work to get to that location. See, it's perfection, right? And that is Schutzen at the caliber that we're talking about with this breeder. They're way high up there. OPA. Yes. Nope. Good. Bruno. Platz. Good. That's my boy. Good. Good. We've got basically a good start on everything. And then all you got to do is understand how I've conditioned the dog. Balls with reward placement, a lot of it. And then dog's name first preparatory to a command, which isn't really legal in the show ring and the trial field, but it's not going to be hard for you to do. Sitz. Good. Platz. Okay. Sitz. Good. Bleib. Bruno. Platz. Good. But see how much faster he does it when you say the name first? It's because the brain gets conditioned to go into gear and he knows contextually what's going to be happening next. It's all about context. And whether people realize it or not, especially with a sport like IGP, everything's contextual and in patterns. It's all, I call IGP Schutzen a choreographed ballet for that exact reason, that there is so much perfection and exactness in it. It's like a choreographed ballet. Sit. Good, good, good. There you go. Good boy. All right, so we're going to go off the cone. This time I'll let it bark for it. Bleiben. Nope, I don't want that one. I want the thin one with the real light rope that will stay there better. The other one's got a heavier strap that drags it off the cone. Good. Good. Bruno. Pass out. Go. Pass out. Go. Good. Pass out. Pass out. Yes. Good boy. Good. That's my boy. Good. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. Good. Good. Bruno out. Good. Nope. Come on. Good. Now I'm going to go right away to my heeling. After I did that one, he's on the flat. Switch this to the heel. I'm going to ask him to come into heel and then keep him going around it, then send him, right? And if I had the extra excitement with him, getting dragged off and getting wound up in drive and everything, I take this drive into the work, which means, Bruno, foos, right away, make him work. He's all pent up because he's just done it a couple times, chasing after it. His drive states are higher. Then I come back to it. Yes. Good. And then you can take that drive and put it where you want it, right? That's what my goal is, to get the drive to be higher, and his anticipation of chasing after that ball when it gets yanked off of that cone will increase drive, and then we'll take that drive, we'll put it into my work. And then you see the dog's whole animation, everything will come up. That's the goal anyway, right? Out. Platz. Good. Bleiben. And a lot of this stuff I can't do by myself as well. I say as well because there's people that call me a liar all the time that are out there working by themselves and getting titles. I've just never been good at it. I'd rather have people around me working as a team, which I don't have availability. Bruno, nope. You Platz, Bleib. Good. Nope. Good. There you go. Good. Bruno, boos. Good, good. That's my boy. Good. Good, good. Good boy, Bruno. Good, good. Good boy. Oh, I didn't want him to see it, dang it. But my leash was wrapped around my arms for the one I want to do here. Good, good. That's my boy, good. Not flowing the way I want it to. Good boy. Good, Bruno. Ball. Yeah. Okay, so there again, that reaffirms keep your head pointed up because that ball could go over your head. That's what that one's for the left hand over to the left with a marker of BALL, and then he takes off. Good boy. It's the only one that you use that way. The one off to my left, and I mark it with BALL so the dog gets used to it. Good. Good. So we're going to do it again and try to keep the dog. Sits. Good. Out. Good. Good. Good boy. Good. Bruno. Good. 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 Bruno. Ball. Good. I'm trying to get him used to it enough that he actually will respond before I even move. So I say BALL, he'll take off. All my other dogs do that. They take off on their own, even before I make movement with my arm. So it becomes the marker, not the movement, that gets him doing it. So right now, he's not familiar with enough that I can get away with that. Good. Bruno, out. Good. Boost. Good, good. Bruno. Good boy, good. Ball. Good boy, good. And again, I'm just doing this again and again so he gets so used to watching up top and thinking it's going to come up over his head. Good boy, good. There you go. Good boy, good. All right, one more time, buddy. Patterns of 2s and 3s, and I think I'll leave it there for today. We got plenty to do this weekend. I'm going to work him into the collar, which is that first saver we were talking about, and trying to set ignition with that, and that drive will be started, and then into this cone will be the other big part. Foos. Good. That we're after. Good, good. So again, we're here where he should be. Good. And then BALL over my head, and it's going to go right towards the camera. Bruno, ball. Okay, and try to reaffirm it. He took off thinking it was going to go somewhere else, but I've got to do it enough that he actually anticipates that it's coming. Go away, Bruno. One more time, buddy. One more time. We'll go the other way and go out. All right, out. I'm looking for him to catch this. Out to a point where he actually is aware that that's what's coming. Good, Bruno. Good boy, good. Bruno. Ball. Okay, and now he's getting used to hearing that word, but he's not sure what's happening yet. Once you do it enough times, he'll actually take off right when you say BALL, even before you move. All right. Good boy. Good boy. One more time, buddy. One more time. Yeah, this is easy stuff, so we can keep going with it. Yeah, I just want it to be a bug in his head that he remembers for the next time. Out. Good. Vibe. So, again, with the position part of it. Good. That's good. Bruno. Boost. Yes. Good boy. Good. Into position. And I got to change that one up a little bit too, get some more drive on it. Take off on him or something. Good. Good. Bruno, out. Good. Boost. Good, good. There you go. Good boy. Good. There you go. Now I'm going to do one more. I'm going to end it on the cone is what I'm going to do. Nope. Good. So again, I'm asking for the exactness that I want, and that's probably not even right. Bruno. Good. Good boy, good. Bruno. Ball. Okay, good. Good boy, Bruno. If I do that with Buddy or Joker or either one of them, I say BALL, and they'll take off even before they see the movement. All right, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, working dogs as always. Talk to you later.